Close your eyes, if you will, and try and visualize the perfect magical garden space. What did you see? A formal garden with perfectly trimmed topiaries and rose bushes that encircle your ritual space? How about an old-fashioned vegetable garden with a pumpkin patch and a scarecrow? Maybe you visualized yourself sipping herbal brews in an English cottage garden, or studying up on spellwork in a tropical garden where the scent of jasmine bewitches you. And still, others may visualize an amazing herb garden just steps from their kitchen. Or how about a witch's Gothic garden, tangled with mystery and secret knowledge? You know, the Victorians offered us a Gothic revival style that we think of most often when we hear the term Gothic garden. It offered careful placement of stonework, arches, statuary, and natural growing plantings that gave an unkept feel, with just enough mystery to be darkly romantic without crossing over to something out of a horror film. Today, I'll show you a relatively simple craft to add a Gothic flair to your garden space. Hi, it's Monica Crossan, author of The Magical Family and Wild Magical Soul. And a couple of weeks ago, I put up a garden project that my husband and I did of a Victorian Gothic statue based on little lighted step spooks, what they were called. And some of you showed interest in me showing how we did it, so that's what I'm doing today. As you can see here, I have a structure already complete, made with scrap lumber. We used a 2x4, a 2x6, a 2x8, and 4 1x2s, between 15 and 20 inches long, and I'll have all of the measurements on my website. We also have VersaBond Professional Thin Set Mortar. You are going to want it with a polymer added to it, and that's for added strength. Also, I am using for mixing a drill with this lovely attachment. You can stir it by hand or with a spoon, but stir it good. A 5-gallon bucket, and right over there I have some scrap pieces of cloth. Okay? So as you can see, I used a balloon, blew it up, and have attached it with some duct tape and a staple. And I am in the process right now of wrapping some scrap fabric just to give it a softer look around our frame. Okay, so as you can see, I have it completely padded, and I have a balloon on. I'm pretty sloppy, so it doesn't really matter. You're not going to see this, but as you can see, I even lengthened it a little bit, so it'll give the hands kind of a nice soft feel. So the next thing we have to do is take 3 larger pieces of scrap material. These are the pieces that will be dumped into the mortar mix to give a look of cement. And we want to just make sure they fit before we do this. And we're going to start at the bottom. So here's my bottom piece. You can kind of see how it's going to lay. My shoulder wrap. That'll go around, cover up those hands. And then our top piece, which will go over the head. Okay, they fit, and we are ready to turn this into a statue. Okay, so right now I am preparing our mortar mix, and we are doing about 1/3 of the bag of the VersaBond and enough water to get it to a milkshake consistency. And now we're ready to add our fabric. I suggest wearing gloves for this, which obviously I'm not doing, but I'm going to put this in and get it thoroughly coated all the way through. It takes a little bit of time.
Okay, so I got this sopped all the way through with our polymer mortar mixture. And right now I've got this first piece on, and I'm just kind of moving it around to make it look like the folds are natural. So I'm going to finish this, and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. You ready? Okay, so we have the two other pieces of fabric on. The balloon is forming the head, and after it hardens you can either pop it or it'll do it on its own. So next we're going to have to let this dry. As you can see, I'm under cover. If you're in a place where you don't get a lot of rain, go ahead and just do it out in the sun. Next, I'm going to take a little more mortar and I'm going to add some black paint, and I'm going to go in between the folds of material to create shadow. And then when it's completely dry, I'll go over it with some polyurethane and she'll be ready. Why don't we take a look at the finished product?